Coming up in this retrospective edition of Outlook TV. Rubbout 2019, Illuminate.
First Pride weekend on Mount Washington.
Kids and Queens. And much, much more. Hello and welcome to Outlook TV. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Sister Fancy Pants, Ms. Gay Vancouver 40. You're watching the Queer News Magazine show, bringing you stories that matter the most from coast to coast.
We're going to kick off this retrospective episode with one of your stories, Rubbout.
Yes, it's almost as fun as rubbing one out.
We're at Rubbout 2019. It's a weekend that's full of rubber and rubber aficionados, full of events and workshops. Let's go find out more about this event.
Okay. Oh, you got a number 2.
This is the first year we're doing a convention format. So the hotel is actually the base of operations. We have most of the events happening in the hotel. For the first time, the Puppy Bowl is here, the Kink Market, the Swap Meet. We're bringing it all together. We still use the outside venues, though, for when we want to get a little bit more risque and friendly, you know.
And you realize you're just literally creating a situation where the rope...
What type of workshops do you have?
The first one I just attended was community building. And currently we're doing a rope bondage workshop. And later today we have one on rubber repair.
It's just one of those events where you get to just be. You know, you get to show up and, you know, even as we've grown, I think we've done a really good job of focusing on the personal interaction. That's what people talk about. They talk about the Friday social. They talk about the Puppy Bowl that happens. It's fun. It's not too stodgy. It's just a lot of fun.
I came to Rubbout specifically because Rubbout is the longest running latex rubber fetish event in North America, and so it's an important event for all of North America. And we also came here, I represent San Francisco Bay Area Rubber.
How did you get into this community?
A little bit by accident. You know, I've had kind of 2 BDSM awakenings, but my most recent one was in 2014. And then I just happened to be shopping for some neoprene gear in Florida, and I saw the rack of latex. And I put it on, and it gave me a feeling that was different than anything else I had ever worn. And also, when I looked in the mirror, I felt a higher sense of body positive self-esteem. And so that's actually one of the things that I'm trying to share with other people is, you know, let them try on latex, everything from extra small to 4XL, and that way nobody's left out, nobody doesn't have a toy to play with.
You make puppy masks?
Yeah, so obviously in the leather community there's like pup play and stuff like that, and you look online and you can sort of see lots of different designs, but what's kind of missing is the kind of handmade. So I take a fair bit of time to like finish the edges so they're nice and smooth and clean, and will be very comfortable whenever they touch the skin.
And this is Sister Fancy Pants at Rubbout 2019 for Outlook TV.
And now we're going to talk about the Mabel League competition.
Yes, at the little tournament every year, everybody dresses up in costumes and there's a costume parade and you can pick the team that you like the costume the best of. There's been some fantastic ones over the years. Let's check it out.
Ooh.
It's a sunny Saturday. We're here at a ballpark at Kits and we're here to check out Mabel League's costume parade. Let's see what the costumes and skits are going to be this year.
For this match against Slytherin, Digital once again relies on our excellent seeker, Harry Potter.
It's amazing to go to a place where people are using your proper pronouns and totally like get you and understand you, and if not, they're willing to like talk to you and learn to be inclusive. So I think that's what the Little League is all about, the Mabel League is all about, and yeah, I really enjoy that aspect of it. Well, we're the May Bees. We have an amazing player that's also called May, so we're May's Bees. So we just played around with it a whole bunch of different ways, and we just love being bees. There's so many cheers that we can do being bees.
Like, believe in yourself.
Yeah, oh bee, oh my, that was a great hit.
Being among a bunch of other badass queer people of all varieties who all have a lot of fun. Like, it's a really social and like humorous league, like lots of good energy here. which I think is just great. Everyone gets together in between games. We're all watching games together, cheering, and we're all just as engaged and supportive. Like, our team isn't a great team, but everyone has such nice things to say, and it's always a positive interaction. Being seen is really important, and it feels safe. I know people think that we're past all of that, but we're really not. I mean, I have friends who still who get called awful things just on Commercial Drive, which should be a hub of queer activity.
It's the best thing to do over summer with your friends.
Look at the queers. Take a look around you. Look how many queers there is out here. That's what keeps me coming back.
Somebody help me. Drop it the line. Rock your body in time. Shake, shake.
Well, those were amazing, and I guess I have a few ideas for Halloween this year now. There's Emmanuel Villamejor for Outlook TV.
We're going to have to take a little break now.
I think I'll go get a new crown.
That one is rather small.
It is, yes. Size queen.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
And next up is Ignite. Rebecca, do you have an issue with personal space?
No, not at all.
Oh,
None.
Okay, perfect. Let's go find out more.
We're here today learning all about the upcoming Ignite Festival that's going to happen at the Scotia Dance Centre in downtown Vancouver. And we're here talking to some of the people that know all about it, and they're going to tell you what you can expect.
Ignite Festival is a 3-day festival where men can come together, and there's a number of different workshops that are organized by different facilitators, and they come together, and the workshops are all about men connecting, using their bodies, using their speaking with their emotions, with their hearts, with their spirit. It's really about all different ways of connecting.
Could you tell us a little bit about the inspiration for this whole festival?
I went to Berlin in 2016 and I attended the Stretch Festival, and so I thought this has to happen in my part of the world, and no one else was going to do it, so I decided to make one here.
So this is an opportunity for queer identified men to come together and learn from each other and with each other some new ways besides the usual obvious sexual encounters, other ways of being intimate that can expand our repertoire of ways we might want to be with our friends and lovers.
How does someone that's not that comfortable with that level of intimacy get comfortable and get into it?
That's actually the brilliance of this kind of format, because it's kind of a smorgasbord of a variety of ways for men to be together. Each one is clearly described on the website and the brochure, and men can pick and choose which ones they want. And the range of intimacies is, from not very intimate, like more talky, to more intimate and touchy-feely and more erotic, and so that men can pick out what they want and see what's in their safety zone, and we're encouraging men to just try out what feels within their comfort zone.
I walked into it having no idea really what to expect. I went to the website, I read the descriptions, and I'd never really experienced anything like that. So I went in with an open mind, and I came out just filled with such positive energy and wanting to explore so many of these things that I just got a sample of. I feel like I learned about myself, I learned about how people connect, and I learned things that I was able to then reproduce with other friends and lovers.
This year, over Easter long weekend, I'll be offering what's called the Temple of Desire. We have a workshop by Louis happening, which is the Nipple Whisperer. Brandon Anthony from LA, who's offering naked yoga.
In our kind of modern app world, if you're interested in exploring something a little deeper with a group of guys that are like-minded, that are curious, and you're willing to push your boundaries and explore and potentially find something exciting and new, come and see us. Come check it out.
This has been John Crossan with the participants of the Ignite Festival. Don't miss it. It's going to be a blast.
I've been to summer camp, but I've never been to drag camp. Strikes me you might have been to drag camp or might even be a counselor.
Yes, I was. Something was flaming for sure.
It is summertime and the living is queer and easy. I am starting my summer off with drag camp today at Havana Theater, put on by iCoat and Kenny Tanaka.
Yeah, you've got a friend in me.
Camp is a new initiative that the Storytelling with Drag Queens Foundation is working on, and this is the first iteration, so it was a test for us. We have 4 different sessions. We had makeup, we had storytelling and culture, drag history, we also had performance, and we also had costume design. When parents show up, because it just goes to show that they're supporting their children or their kids or their youth, and some people that look like they're just parents that might have kids are just actually here as adults.
It's been really great to take my love of this form of art and to be able to share it with people who, don't have the same experiences as I do. Whether they're people who think drag is just a fun thing they see once in a while, or it's kids who are interested in trying it for themselves. People think of drag queens as these, big, like, glamazons who are untouchable at the club, and really this humanizes us. This brings us to a level that, children, mothers, kids can understand and can relate to. Demystifies us.
Harvey, Gilbert, and the other activists had a flag with 8 colorful stripes.
It's a place to have the youth have a space where they can come to and they can get some tips and have fun with us and not worry about having to go out of their way to find an all ages event.
It's kids and also their parents, and the kind of having the whole family there to have this experiences together and ask questions together is really lovely.
Being a drag clown, it's a different experience than being a flesh tone drag queen or a drag king or anything, and it gives me more of a chance to play and take that to a different kind of space and show a whole different side of drag.
This space really does kind of help humanize drag for kids and their parents, because a lot of the people that we have coming in are definitely drag races they're in to the community, right? And so that's the kind of impression of drag that they have, especially I think a lot of these parents are finding out about these things through their kids and are seeing these kind of bigger mass media iterations of drag. So getting to see what it actually looks like in terms of community is I think it's a really good kind of eye-opening experience for people, the diversity of the actual scene versus what they've experienced through television.
Friendship will never die.
And from Havana Theater for Drag Camp, my name is Leroy Wan.
Let's hit the slopes.
I know, why don't we go to Mount Washington? They had their first Pride.
Ooh, let's go.
Vancouver Island, here we come.
Hello, Outlook TV, and happy Pride. I'm here at Mount Washington, and it is the first Vancouver Island Winter Pride. There's 3 days worth of activities, but I think right now it's time to check out the slopes.
The philosophy behind Vancouver Island Pride is, regardless of where you fit on the spectrum of gender and sexuality, everybody's included. We really wanted to create a very diverse and open, welcoming environment that everybody just feels empowered to be themselves, to be fiercely authentic and just have fun and just create an event that's full of love and joy. And I think that's what we've done here today. Today was such a beautiful bluebird day. Everybody was smiling, having fun, and every time people saw a rainbow flag or the trans flag, they're just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. It was just joy everywhere. It was wonderful. And of course we had the unstoppable Connie Smudge here, and who can't love Connie? And she was very, very busy. I don't know if you noticed on the ski slopes, but there was a lot of glitter everywhere.
I love you all. Thank you so much, Mount Washington.
I just did a race and I won. Happy Pride.
Happy
Happy Pride! Happy Pride!
Yeah, we're really excited to have Vancouver Island Pride up here. It's a great venue for the event, and we've got beautiful weather. The snow conditions are epic, and I think everybody's just enjoying their time up here, which is what we want. This is a great place to be on Vancouver Island.
Are you guys having fun? Yes!
We're up here to support the inaugural Vancouver Island Pride event at Mount Washington, the VIP winter event. It's great. There's been fantastic things going on. See some fantastic costumes. And of course, when we have this beautiful sunny day in the backdrop of the Strathcona Provincial Park behind us, how can it not be fantastic? We hope to make this an inaugural event.
I run the guiding program for The Hill. It's really an amazing program. It's run by community members, so we meet at the bottom of the hill. We kind of divide people into levels, and then we just go off and tour the mountain. So it's a really wonderful social event, as well as learning the mountain and things like that. So it is a really great way to ski together and socialize.
Great slopes, great times at Vancouver Island Pride. This has been Kelly Legg with Outlook TV News.
It's time for us to take another little break.
Great, gives me time to find out what happened to my other sleeve.
Welcome back. You're watching Outlook TV.
Now let's go find out what kids in Queens have in common.
Ooh, is someone going to read me a story?
Yes, me.
This is the third edition of Kids in Queens featuring Mina Mercury. Kids in Queens is an event for children and their families that includes songs, crafts, and story time. This year, unfortunately, there was a threat of a protest against this event here at the Gordon Neighborhood House, and it shows great support from our local community.
Today, Gordon Neighborhood House was so proud to support an amazing group of community that came to host an event called Kids in Queens. A really wonderful event that just, expands kids' imaginations and really promotes inclusion and diversity in families and communities. And so that was happening inside. And we had a couple hundred people outside supporting kids, cheering them on as they went in, and really making sure that all of this was done in a really good way.
This is all about love and celebrating the diversity and the multiculturalism of an amazing city, an amazing country, and there is no room for south of the border coming north of the border.
A really joyful, fun drag queen storytime event unfortunately got politicized and targeted by an anti-queer, anti-gay organization, and instead of stopping the event, it made it bigger, it made it stronger, and the wider community surrounded us with love, protected the kids from any exposure to the negativity, and it just ended up being bigger, better, and more fabulous than we could have imagined.
A kid drag queen here. What?
Mama told me when I was young, we're all superstars.
What's the format of Kids in Queens?
We're involving songs and stories, dancing and a lot of singing, putting drag into sort of an imaginary space where kids can just be themselves and have an amazing time without even thinking about it. The content is a message, basically, about equality, embracing who you are, loving who you are, and not caring what other people think, and standing up for yourself, and just being you, being yourself.
Look at that! And she's here for you!
I was helping Mina Mercury reading a story for the kids.
So what was the story about?
The story was called A Day in July, and it was about the Pride Parade and who partakes in the Pride Parade and what the Pride Parade was all about. So in the book, they actually mentioned a sister in the book, and there's a drawing of a sister in there. So Mina just wanted me there so we can see a live representation of what was in the book.
From the Gordon Neighborhood House, this is Ollie and
Gavin.
for Outlook TV.
So, Coronation, sounds like royalty. I think you should take this one.
Sure. This was actually an incredible step forward for non-binary, non-gender roles. Let's go find out more.
Eastside Studios in Vancouver are going to be sparkling tonight as host for Coronation 48. People from across the continent are here decked out in all their finest as Vancouver honors the current reigning monarchs and crowns our new monarchs for the 48th reign. Join us as Outlook TV has the inside scoop on all the festivities.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land.
Just finishing the year for Misty and Continental Breakfast. And this is their night, this is their step down, this is what they've envisioned. The new ones will be elected tonight. We have 2 candidates for Emperor and 1 for Emprex. So it should be a good year coming up. So
27, Misty H. Meadow.
So this year we were very fortunate that we had the first ever Emprex, which is a gender non-binary title, which was given away last year by Jen and Tommy. And it's amazing to see this come to fruition. One of mine and Continental's goals this year was just to create a sense of just be yourself in the court, like as long as you are being your genuine self, and to see so many people in there that are not the traditional court people is heartwarming, and it means the world.
We come together, we do this together for each other, making sure that our communities stay strong and safe.
The title Emprex was created by Tommy D and Jane Smoker a couple years ago. They were an emperor and empress, and it's a more inclusive title. It's a gender neutral title, so if anybody doesn't feel comfortable identifying as an emperor or an empress, they can be an Emprex and they can still serve the community.
Currently, I'm the general manager of the Pump Shack. Prior to that, I was general manager of Steamworks. Prior to that, I was general manager of Pre-Op, and I'm an international recognized DJ.
Fantastic. Now, I've known you as a DJ for many years. What inspired you to start to run for Emperor?
I'm pretty sure it was Tommy and Jane's reign that kind of inspired me, because it wasn't something I really ever thought of. And then when I saw friends of mine that were very close to it and very, very successful, I understood that I could contribute a lot more, and I wanted to do the same.
Fantastic. Now, do you have any thoughts you've given to what you might want to achieve if you do ascend?
Well, of course, I want to achieve lots of money for my charities that I have in mind, which I'm not really ready to disclose what they are. But I do have a bunch of events planned. Myself and whoever is the Empress, I'm assuming it might be Alma, maybe, who knows. We have a bunch of things stewing in our pot that would be really good for the community.
Fundraising is like a hallmark of drag. Drag artists fundraise. They do activism, they make people laugh, they do all sorts of great things, but fundraising has always been a huge component of it. And I started with the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence, so I know all about fundraising and drag. So it's just kind of like a natural progression. I've known lots of people involved in the court system, like Jaylene Time, and as like I mentioned before, Jane Smoker and Tommy D and Misty Meadows, who I served under as a princette this year. Lots of great people have just been continuing this tradition for so long, and I'm just happy to be a part of it.
What inspired me? This. Meeting all these incredible people, forming a community together. That's what's inspired me. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm thrilled to be a part of this. I have met people that I have never met before in my life that are coming up to me and saying, hi, congratulations, and this is who you are, and this is who I am, and wow, I'm thrilled.
I'm here celebrating my 30th anniversary.
Yes, and it's my 30th anniversary as Venus's princess as well.
Firstly, make sure you're ready for this because it is a non-stop, constant goal. But it is not something that I would regret or take back. It is it is such a learning opportunity and such an opportunity to give back to your community and give back to people who do need it, but also just to give to your brothers and sisters in the community is so beautiful.
Assembled here before you are your fellow monarchs. They hold the imperial symbols of the office of Emperor and Empress. By accepting these, you do
Congratulations to the newly elected and crowned monarchs of Vancouver, BC, Canada, Emperor 48 Del Stamp and Emprex 48 Alma Beaches.
Answer, I do.
I do. I do.
Yeah!
That is all the time we have for this, our first retrospective, but there's going to be a second retrospective.
And in the meantime, you can check us on all our social media platforms, and if you're interested, we'd love to have you to join us as a volunteer.
Maybe it'll be your story next year in the retrospective. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Rebecca Wyman.
And I'm Sister Fancy Pants, Miss Gay Vancouver 40.
Stay festive, Canada.